Hi, I'm Darnell with Way of Living Recipes, and this is my review of the Hamilton Beach Electric Indoor Searing Grill. So it comes with a pretty sparse manual, and so I do hope that this review helps you to use it because there's not a lot in there. But I want to show you the power cord. It's a 2-prong polarized cord, and the grill is 1200 watts. And so with that, it's a higher end, not the highest, but higher end. So you'd want to be careful having anything else on the same circuit so that you don't blow the circuit. Now they say that the grill plate has a non-stick PFAS free surface. So they don't mention PTFE, so that might be what they're using for the coating of this. I'm not sure. And the temperature ranges for this grill are 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no timer, so basically it cooks as long as you want it to cook for you. And the dimensions are 6.81 inches in height by 16.73 inches in width by 12.4 inches in depth. Now I do want to mention as I go deeper into this review, because I get into a lot of detail. If it does reach a point that is not to your liking, there is the timestamp feature in the video description. Also, there's the chapters feature, so you can quickly advance to the portion of your choosing. Also, here on the channel, there are over 900 different videos covering well over 100 different countertop cookers, so there's plenty here for you to enjoy. Alright, so giving you a close-up view here, and so now I'm going to basically just show you what it comes with basically inside. Here's the grill plate, and this grill plate is detachable, so you can just easily remove it. So it's very easy to just pull out. And down here is a drip tray. This is a plastic drip tray here that goes down the bottom. So that's basically all the parts that there are to it. It's the main unit, there's the grill plate, and there's this drip tray here that I'm trying to get in there. There we go. And just showing you around so that you see around it fully. There's your side view, and just give you a look around the back. And then the other side here. And here on this side, it's got a couple of lights. There's like a green light to let you know when it's ready, and there's a red light when it's powered and like warming up and such. And we'll talk more about this control knob here. It's just kind of a turn dial for temperature. And I also wanted to show you with this door. Basically, you see how it kind of leans back like that. And in order to get the door off, because you can remove the door, you basically just pull up like this. You have to have it at like a 90-degree angle. And you can pull up on it like that. And then you can, well, hold on, sure. Gotta make sure it's in the grooves. But then you get it back in there, and you know, you can open and close it pretty easily. And so now let's do some measurements. First measurement I want to take is when this top is all the way back, because you have to make some room kind of extra in the back for the door. And we'll see how tall things are when things are set up like that. And we see it's just under 12 inches when it's setting up like that. Now let's do a side to side here. We'll do this right up front. We see it's a little over 16 because the sides kind of fan out. So let's do it here. Yeah, it's like a little over 16.5 inches there. Almost 17 inches, but not quite. I'm going to do some more exterior before I go to the interior of the grill plates. Turning to our side here, we'll see how things go from this handle to the back. You've got about 12 inches there, maybe a little over 12 inches there. So that's your measurements that way. Now I also want to measure the height with the door closed. So with the door closed, we see that the height is about almost 6.5 inches or so, that way. So now I'll go inside and do some measurements of the grill plate. So doing the grill plate side to side, it's, let me make sure it stays in there. Grill plate this way is a little over 12 inches. Yeah, it's about 12.5 inches. It's about 12.5 inches there, like that. Now I'm doing the grill plate. I'm just going to take it out to do the grill plate this way. And we see that the grill plate is a little over 10.5 inches, about 9 3/4 inches. Yeah, about 9 3/4 inches there. So that just kind of gives you a good look at things. And if we do it diagonally, we see, let's see, 15.5 inches diagonal. So that should give you a good idea of the various measurements of things. Okay, so now I've got the Hamilton Beach next to the Ninja Foodi Smart XL Pro Grilling Griddle. Full review and several videos, full playlist about this is here on the channel. Now we see that the Hamilton Beach is obviously not as tall as the Ninja. The Ninja is a bit bigger, you know, especially taller in height. And when we go inside, the Hamilton Beach is just a grill. The Ninja, it's got a griddle plate so that you can like do your griddle work. And it also has a grill plate. It also has heat coming from the top, so you got top and bottom heat. Whereas the Hamilton Beach has a see-through window, but no heat from the top. While the Ninja, you can't see through at all. And the Ninja also comes with a temperature probe to track temperature. Also, the Ninja can air fry, it can broil, it can roast. It can do a lot of different types of cooks, but you can see more of that if you wanted to on the playlist here on the channel. Alright, so right now I'm giving you a close-up view of the temperature knob because that's basically all the controls that it has. And basically it starts out at min. Whenever you're done with the cook, they say turn it back to min. There is no off switch or off button. If you want it off, you just have to unplug it. But basically as we turn the knob, and I'm not plugged in yet, but you first get to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 250, 300, and basically goes 50-degree increments to 400. And then after 400, if you want to hit 450, they call that sear, so they have the sear option at 450. So that just basically gives you a good close-up view of the knob, and it's pretty simple. Also, I wanted to point out that they say to preheat at your desired temperature for 5 to 10 minutes before you start grilling. Alright, so now I'm going to do a temperature test. I've got an ambient probe here on the grill and a readout here to keep track of things. I'm going to close up, and the door closes pretty easily with that. I'm going to turn it all the way to the max to start so that when I plug it in, it's already going to the max temperature, so I'm not like trying to turn up to that. So got it plugged in now, and we'll see how it starts warming up. I'm going to just maybe bring you back in about 10 minutes or so, but I'll let you just kind of watch the timer on the screen. It's going to be probably more accurate than my guess at 10 minutes, but I'll bring you back. Alright, so we see before 10 minutes we're up that it reached the target temperature. The ambient probe is reading like 458, 455. It's kind of teetering there. But it does seem like things are holding temp. So that's pretty good. It is able to get up to temp. Now I want to do some feeling around, see how hot things are. The top is hot. I'm calling it the hot. The top is hot. I mean, you know not to put your hand there, okay? They do have a hot surface little message right there on the top. So, yeah, it's hot. I don't want to touch this thing. I mean, the handle sides, you know, are okay. Of course, the grill thing is okay. I mean, the drip pan is okay, but I don't want to touch any of that. I mean, you can just feel the ambient temperature emitting, the heat just emitting off of that. You don't want to get near that. Alright, so I've got a thermal imaging camera here, and what I'm seeing is the hottest area is coming right off the window, reading about the 240s there. On the hood, where I've got kind of the center, it's like reading like 114, but I think that reflective surface is not giving the true temp because, I mean, it feels like there's some real heat coming off there. So I think that it's a lot hotter than it's saying. Now over here on the side, it is reading near 300 on the side there. and going over the top. Yeah, we're reading more like 300s. I think that's, yeah, see up here up top it's like 300s. So I think it's more, yeah, it's more 300s than like 100s, which was a bad read. So it's very hot. You don't want to, you know, mess around on that. You don't want to have kids around this thing, you know, as far as touching it or anything, or, you know, just teach them how to use it very, very safely. Alright, so I've got a couple slices of my whole wheat light sourdough bread here. A video of how I make it is here on the channel. I've got one slice that's buttered, one slice that's not. I've already preheated things in the grill to 450, the sear setting. So I do want to point out that this has no light. It has no fan to mitigate the smoke that it makes. And also, it doesn't beep when it gets to the preheated temperature. It switches the light to ready, but it doesn't give you any like audible tone. So you have to keep an eye out when it reaches temperature. But this is probably going to make a good bit of smoke. Lord willing, it won't set off my smoke alarm, but I'll have to mitigate that if it happens. So I've got things where you can maybe see through the see-through window, but I'm going to go ahead and open up, start putting bread on. Put a slice over here, and I'll put our buttered slice right there, and close up, so you can see those cook for a little bit. Alright, so it's been going for about maybe 3 minutes, I don't know, but going to see how the bread looks on the side that I tried to grill. This is the unbuttered slice, so we'll just see how it looks. You know, not much searing there on that one, but no butter. Now let's see what the buttered slice has going on. And yeah, so the buttered slice, you know, we got really good searing on our buttered slice, so that's all good. Alright, so now I'm going to do a grill test with some fish. I've got a couple pieces of wild-caught monkfish here, and I've got some organic extra virgin olive oil on it, and I've also got some organic no-salt seasoning on it. They do say if you're going to be grilling a meat that's not very fatty, that you either need to oil it in advance or you need to oil the plates of the grill before you start warming it up. I've already got it warmed up to 350, which is what I'm going to be grilling at. So I'm just going to take these pieces of monkfish and get them on the grill, close on up, and we'll let that go for maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll see about turning them over. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes. Gonna open up and get things turned over. Grill doesn't have any, well, it doesn't pause or anything like that. So looks like we got some good Mylar reaction there. And on the other side, I'm going to try and get them closer to the viewing window again. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to leave them there. We'll let them cook for about another 5 and then check things out. Alright, so things have been going for maybe about 10 minutes total. Going to take a look in here. And I'm going to go ahead and try and temperature test meat. See if we're done. We're like 112, 115, 116. We're a little under. So I'm going to give things another 3 minutes, and I'll check again in 3 minutes. Alright, so I let things go for about another 4 minutes or so. So I'm going to check temp again, and Lord willing, we're good and done on both sides. And we're still, I mean, even when I put it in lower, well, I guess, yeah, right near the plate it's done. I'm going to just turn it over and give it a few minutes and pull it regardless of temp. I think we're done. I think we're not going to get the, it's not going to show on the other side that's not touching the plate. So I'm just going to give it a couple minutes on this side. Alright, so after a couple more minutes, going to check again. I am going to check temp, always check temp. Make sure things are safe no matter how much you hope things are done already. So yeah, we're at 145 there. Yeah, we're good now. So, looking good. I'm going to go ahead and get this one off. Get it on the plate. And get this one off also. Plate it. So there's our finished grilled monkfish. Alright, so now let's talk about cleaning the grill. To clean the grill, you unplug it and you leave the door open for things to cool down before you start cleaning it. And basically you want to dump any grease after it's fully cooled down. And then for the grill plate and the drip tray, they are both dishwasher safe. The drip tray should only be put on the top rack though. And they say that you can use like a nylon or a plastic scrub brush. Don't use anything abrasive or metal or anything like that. They say if you put it in a dishwasher, do not use the Sani selection. They say the Sani selection basically is too rough on it. And basically you can use like a warm soapy dishcloth to clean things, a wet one to wipe things down, then a dry one to dry everything off. And of course never submerge the main unit in water, and of course that doesn't go in the dishwasher, just the drip tray and the grill plate. And they say note, the drip tray may discolor from the drippings, so over time drippings may discolor the drip tray that you're really not looking at much anyway. Alright, so let's talk about the warranty. It comes with a 1-year limited warranty, and so we see that basically it did everything that it was tasked to do. It did the toast well, grilled that well, it heats to the target temperature, it grilled up the monkfish well, so it does everything pretty good. And so nothing in this video is sponsored, nothing was given to me. In the video description there's lots of ways to help the channel, such as my cookbook, merch, membership, donations, link to the Amazon shop where you pay the same price, help the channel, also buy me a coffee link. Also you can check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. Again, that's superwaveovenrecipes.com. If you're familiar with RSS, there's an RSS feed there as well that you can use. And so there's also buy me a coffee there too. But with all of that said, if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.